Off you go. Okay, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight for our One Simple Change webinar. My name is Cami Ramini. I am an integrative nutrition health coach, and I am a member of the Juicy movement very proudly, with some of the other ladies that are on the line tonight. The Juicy movement, for those of you who haven't heard of it before, we are a collective of holistically minded people from all sorts of different backgrounds. Many of us do have health and wellness and even medical backgrounds, and many of us are just truly passionate about the holistic life. And we've come together to work together because of this ethos that we have about how the true road to health and happiness is different for everybody, and how that road starts with one simple change. So tonight's webinar is all about introducing that premise to you, and we think that the best way to do that is through real life stories of real transformative change for the better, that have come from taking one simple change at a time into our lives at the time that best suited each of us, and then following that health journey really organically with the support of our beautiful collective and with the support of our Juicy mentor. So the people who know me know that I love to talk, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to introduce one of my gorgeous Juicy sisters, Ange, who's going to really kindly share her story about just how incredible this transformative change has been since joining the Juicy life. Over to you, Ange.
Thanks, Cami. Sorry, a bit of a frog in my throat. So I just want to share my story. It goes back to when I was turned 40. I'm now 47. So the year I turned 40, I hit some really hard health issues. So the scariest one I hit was a major bowel issue. My health declined. I was at a point in my life where I was bleeding from my bowels and I was in quite a bit of pain. My energy levels were completely gone, and I am an early bird, and I was struggling to get out of bed every morning. And I just felt desperate. I was lost and confused and in a lot of pain, and didn't understand why my health was declining at such a rate. At the time, I was eating well and going to the gym every day with a personal trainer and doing all those lifestyle things that are the right choices. And yet my health was declining. So off I went to the doctor, and unfortunately, the doctor looked me in the eye and said, "I think you've got bowel cancer." And it just floored me. I was shocked. And so naturally it was, off you go to have some tests to prove that you have bowel cancer. So off I did. Off I went for my tests, and luckily I'm so grateful that everything came back clear, but still no answers. And the doctor's solution or next step was to then diagnose me some medication. And I was told I had to stay on that medication for at least 6 months. And the goal behind what I was on wasn't to solve the problem. It was to lessen some of my symptoms in the hope that something new would flare up. So I was, again, floored because, you turn to the medical profession, and you do rightfully, looking for those answers. But instead I was told you have to wait and take medication, fill your body through this synthetic, materials, and hope that something else is going to rear its ugly head so that we can go searching again. So it was just, we're looking for something to go test for again. I was in a desperate situation. I just thought, this is ridiculous. I also thought, I'm 40, I can take responsibility for my own health. So in my moment, I reached out to a girlfriend, and I knew, because I was looking at my sort of I knew I was under a PT, so I knew my exercise regime at the time was fine. And all I could think was, maybe there's just something in my diet, something. And so I reached out to my girlfriend, Carla, who happens to be on this call tonight. And I was so blessed. Carla sat me down and she shared her knowledge with me. She went through a lot of going through my diet with me, imparted so much information, and introduced me to this product, Juice Plus. It's a whole food nutrition product. Could there be something missing in my nutrition, in my world? And because I was at that point, I was like, you know what? I will take that. It's either going to work or it's not. And I'm not doing any harm. So I took it. 2 weeks later, my energy levels had increased and I was getting out of bed on time and I felt normal. And the feeling of normal was amazing. So I just was feeling brilliant. And 3 months down the track, I was off that medication that the doctor had prescribed. My pain had gone and the bleeding had subsided. And I went back to my doctor saying, look at this. And he said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I can flood my body with this whole food nutrition. And it worked really well for me. And so I swear by it. And I was so lucky to come across it. And you would think that, okay, I've now solved that medical issue. But I thought, well, I will stay on this because it's done wonders for my body. My levels of energy are so good and I'm feeling good. Let's just stay on it for a bit longer. And I did. Now, I love the fact that health is an accumulative thing. You can make a simple change and it will roll into the next good thing and the next good thing. And fortunately for me, I am a chronic rosacea sufferer. My skin is clear. And it was Juice Plus, the one simple change again, because I'd been on cortisone and other medications and told you can only manage that, you can't get rid of it. Well, I've got rid of it. And then the most amazing health part of my health journey is I was actually diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 27 years old. So 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. And for 10 of those years, I went back to my doctor for my annual checkups. Sure enough, every EEG showed I had epilepsy. Every visit, they would change my medication, up my medication. I was on something ridiculous and of a level of medication, a lot of tablets. And then I noticed that a year after taking Juice Plus, my epilepsy had maintained itself. It had sort of steadied. And then a year after that, it had lessened. And a year after that, it had lessened again. And I am now seizure-free 2 years and medication-free 2 years. And so I can't speak highly enough of this beautiful product and the fact that my health has just continued to improve. That's me.
Thanks so much, Ange. Thank you so much for sharing.
And that gives me goosebumps every single time I hear it. And I think the thing that I love about it is that we don't realize the power that the human body has to heal itself. But the thing is that we have to give it the right ingredients. And I think that is just testament to really when we up our levels of nutrition, we're really upping our health. And it can look like so many different things for so many different people. Just quickly introduce myself. I'm Anika Clare-Hesse. I have actually been taking Juice Plus and with my family for about 8-9 years now. And the thing that I thought I'll share with you tonight is why it resonated with me, because for me, where I was in my life, I had already gone organic. I had got rid of toxins in my home, that I knew that I needed extra nutrition because we simply weren't getting the same amount of nutrition in our fruit and vegetables and in our foods as what we were 30 years ago. One of the things I read was as a carrot that we were eating in the 1970s to get the same nutritional level levels of vitamins and minerals and things from that carrot, we now have to be eating 5 to 7 to get the same amount. So I knew I needed to be supplementing. I never thought about what I was supplementing with. And it wasn't until I came across Juice Plus that I was like, holy moly, like I have been supplementing with a synthetic supplement that's been made in a lab. My body doesn't recognize it. And then when I heard about Juice Plus, it was just a light bulb moment for me, because it's like, wow, here are real fruits and vegetables grown on the most fertile soils in the world, and they're vine ripened, so you're actually getting the maximum amount of nutrition into the fruits and vegetables, and then they're taken and they're pulped. So again, it's not just the juice that's coming out, it's the seeds, it's the actual peel as well, and all of that has amazing nutrition in it. And then all it is it's the sugar content's taken out, it's dried at near freezing, so it's still alive. You've got all the live enzymes in there, and then it's encapsulated. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it was a real moment for me, because all of a sudden I found something that was really going to up my nutrition to the next level. I'd always taken stuff in Blind Faith, and this was the first time that I actually felt a difference in my body. I was 9 months pregnant, or 8 months pregnant at the time, and actually started to feel a lot of energy. So it's something that I think, Juice Plus is a part of health puzzle. I love that we've got this whole program around it, which I know Cammie's going to talk about in a little bit, because it's not just about one thing. It's about different pieces of the puzzle that need to come together to complete that whole health picture. And we're always moving, we're always trying to get to that next level of health, and it's always going to be a journey, but this is something that has been a mainstay in our family. And the thing I love about it is that every single adult that gets on the product has the opportunity to sponsor a child to be on it for free. And these are the gummies, which the kids absolutely love. And they're the only ones in Australia that actually aren't classed as a confectionery. So they're the same fruits and vegetable powders that are in the capsules, but in a gummy form. And again, amazing stories with kids as well. My kids have gone down, they've been on it for 8 years. And now if they get sick, it'll be most of the time, they can be really sick, but for half a day. And then the rest of the day, they're up and about again. So I've really seen the cumulative effect over the years. All of our immune systems just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But I love hearing about the different stories that people have, because everyone is very different. And one person I'd love for her to share the story tonight is Carla Thomas, because she's got a really, really powerful story of where her health has come from. So Carla.
Thank you, Mika. You explained that so beautifully and simply, and that's exactly what this is about. There's no need to complicate it all. It's all about one simple change using simple philosophies. So I've probably been the longest on this journey, or as far as the whole Juice Plus and Juicy movement is concerned. And my journey started, even though I didn't know it, as far back as when I was 17, which was when I was seemingly doing very well and coping very well with life on all aspects, and doing well at school and dancing and all those things, until I fell apart and started to experience bouts of anxiety and panic attacks and I guess mild depression. And it was something that was like, oh great, she's got it, it runs in the family. So off to the doctors, popped on medication to help me get through the school year, and it was kind of deemed as, that is that. And so I sort of battled this on and off, being very up and down, for a good number of maybe 5 years or so. And it's not what you're supposed to experience in your teens. It's supposed to be when, you're carefree and you're having fun, and, you should be like enjoying life, not worrying about, being at your boyfriend's house and, having to be scared for him to leave because you can't be on your own. That's what I was facing at, 17, 18. And so it was around 22 where I just remember having this moment and sitting there thinking, is this it? Like, am I just supposed to accept that this is normal to feel like this, and this is what the rest of my life is going to look like in terms of like my health and well-being. And I just didn't want to settle for that. And I do believe the right things come about at the perfect time. And I was invited to go to a wellness event, and I remember thinking, I'm only saying yes out of being polite. You know, sometimes maybe you're on here tonight for the same reason and you don't want to disappoint the other person. And I remember being so exhausted from work and just being on the couch. It was a Friday. And, you know, I worked early hours at dance at night. I was like, I don't want to go anywhere. And I got off this couch and I went and I listened to this amazing speaker talk about the power of plants and whole food nutrition in a way I hadn't heard before. And I understood that it wasn't about being skinny, which was my reason for being healthy. It was about feeding nourishing myself on a mind-body level and understanding the mind connection with food and nutrition and looking after yourself. And so right then and there, I thought, I just need to start. I need to start with one simple change at a time. And that first simple change for me was Juice Plus. But in that, it became that catalyst to then start bringing on other simple changes and holistic philosophies. And over time, and it does take time and it's investment, I've worked on myself every single day from that day. I began to see the changes that I desire. I began to get the life skills I needed for that lifestyle that I desired on that mind, body, holistic wellbeing level. And so today, almost 10 years on Juice Plus, 9 years down this holistic route, the reason the GC Life program has come about is because it's based on the principles I have learned and some of these other beautiful ladies and experts on here have learned, and we put together because we want to help other people get those life skills so you can create that life and health and well-being that you deserve. And so what health does and what I've realized through what we use and the philosophies we teach is health isn't about when everything is good. It's about when everything's in the shits, but you have the nourishment to be able to cope on all aspects. You don't fall down. I've heard a beautiful quote saying, health isn't fitness. That's not it. Health is being able to cope under lots of stresses on all different levels. And so we're really big on teaching what the connection is between food and mindset, because that's the reason today that I haven't had to go on medication since I was 24. That's the reason why I can now manage anxiety, and it's not something that comes onto me because I can read the signals. That's the reason why I don't fall down under the pressures of challenges such as this year, going through a big personal one, and yet I can still get up and function. So that's what we want to be able to teach, and we use that starting with Juice Plus, and we do that authentically because it was the starting change for all of us. So how can we not share that and make that part of this program? And then we teach those ongoing skills that you might crave so that you too can find basically that level of health that you were designed to be functioning at every single day.
Okay. Thank you. That was so lovely. It's sort of my role. We'd said to talk about the program, but I don't really think I need to. I think that was so heartfelt and just totally encapsulates what we're all about. So I'll just keep this very, very brief. Adding on from what Carla said, who, she very modestly didn't mention, she is the founder of the Juicy movement and the co-founder of the Juicy Life program. But basically, what the Juicy Life program is, as Carla just said, is it's a totally personalizable, online, long-term, sort of what I like to call like a slow burn wellness program. So you start off with the one simple change, which is the taking of the Juice Plus as a nutritional baseline to supplement your health across all areas. And then you work with whoever has introduced you to the product, with your mentor, with your coach, on the areas of your life that you feel that you could add more love into. And we have a whole heap of ebooks that come as part of the program, which assist in sort of guiding you when and if things come up in your life which you get more curious about as you walk down your health journey, and as you explore the ideas of holistic health, meaning that, it's, as Anne said before, it's not just your PT, it's not just what you put on your plate. it's also everything else in your life as well. And as you start to sort of become more aware of your own health and happiness and where that stands and where balance is for you, then different elements of holistic health sort of come in and you become curious. And that's what the ebook's all about doing, then helping you sort of explore that curiosity and add simple changes into your life when work for you. So I've got a few of them just to show you that they all come for free as part of the program, all downloadable, and easy to have on your iPad, on your iPhone, wherever you prefer, or obviously to print out. This is the Juicy Life program ebook. This is obviously the signature ebook for the program, which explains about the products, about the premises of different things you can start to add into your life from day one, to sort of help you assimilate better the Juice Plus and also build on that energy role that you'll be bringing in sort of organically through your nutrition. We've got heaps of recipe books. There's desserts, there's Easter, there's Christmas, there's all sorts. We've got a gorgeous natural beauty book, which is all about lowering toxins and also making your own beauty products and how to sort of simplify that. Another great one on that same vein is the Low Tox ebook, which talks about how to recognize chemicals in the products you might buy for your home, your body, and how to eliminate that toxic load. Again, one simple change at a time. We've also got great discounts. Great discount in this one for a local natural home and body brand, Pure Home Body. We've got a lovely member discount in here. And this one is also one of my favorites, the juice cleansing ebook for those that do want to give juice cleansing a go. Heaps of information about why that would be perhaps a good idea for you. And again, a really generous member discount there for one of our local Perth-based juice cleanse companies, Refresh Juice and Cleanse. So yeah, it's an incredible program, totally personalizable. Talk to whoever invited you onto this call more about the process of how that works, and just know that the whole premise behind the Juicy movement and the whole thing behind holistic health in general is that it really is progressive, slow burn, transformative change that will then just become a part of your lifestyle and be something that you can so easily maintain for the long term. And we're all of us speaking here tonight are prime examples of that. We're all living the message that we spread. So I will also introduce Tash, who's another one of our Juicy sisters, to talk about her experience before we wrap up this evening. Over to you, Tash.
Hi guys. My story is a bit different. I developed interest in food as medicine, holistic living, and self-care already in my early 20s. And there was a reason for it, because I had a few health issues since I was a child, including very weak immune system, chronic pneumonia, anxiety. And then it happened that I added a few to this list. I was exposed to Chernobyl radiation, and then as a result, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome and thyroid issues. So also I had family history of cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, obesity, Alzheimer's, you name it. So not a very good genetics and not very good start to my life. So I was determined to get better and not to give up. That's why I decided to take my health in my own hands and try to look after myself. And so I started educating. And after all the books I read and all the research I did, it was absolutely clear to me that it's actually very easy to be healthy. Just look after yourself, feed your body with plant-based food, and your body will heal itself given half a chance. So to be honest, I was not always sticking to what I believed in, but most of my life I tried to do all the right things. So my body did heal itself, and now I hardly see my doctor. So, but being healthy yourself is only half a job. So you have to look after your loved ones. And unfortunately, a few years ago, my life started crumbling, literally crumbling around me. My beautiful husband, Tom, was diagnosed with cancer, which runs in his family. So I was devastated, and not only because what happened to him, but I was very disappointed in myself, because I always believed that cancer is a lifestyle-caused illness. And here I am, know all about health, and I'm living with this man for over 15 years, and I did nothing to prevent it. So back to my research, and all information was pointing only in one direction, that cancer is fed by our lifestyle and environmental factors, and diet is very important in preventing it. So Tom had really no choice but joining me in healthy eating and chemical-free living, and results were actually very promising. Recovery after his operation and his overall health were getting better and better, but you have to maintain healthy eating to prevent recurrence of cancer, because it can reoccur somewhere else. And I discovered that it's not that easy to feed your body with all nutrients and vitamins we need. Our soils, as Anika already mentioned, are depleted, especially in Australia. Pollution and pesticides reducing quality of our fresh food. So I started buying organic food and even considered growing my own organic veggie patch. But unfortunately, buying all organic is not sustainable, and we don't get variety we need because of seasonal availability. So how to give variety of nutrients to someone who hates berries, never touched a green smoothie in his life, and thinks spirulina is an island in Greece? So while doing my research on how to actually make it easier for him to get optimal nutrition in his body and reduce and help his body to get all these nutrients, I came across Juice Plus. And Juice Plus blends are made from quality tested, real ingredients, providing natural nutrients our body needs, and without any preservatives, any additives. And so this product completely made sense to me and was exactly what I was looking for. It was giving me variety I was seeking in convenient form, and so easy to add to Tom's diet and to add to his routine. And also important part that it's didn't increase natural sugar consumption, which is extremely important when you're fighting cancer, because sugars are removed during the process of making Juice Plus concentrate. So it was first small step, but it kick-started his health journey. Already in a few weeks, he was full of energy, so he started exercising, his immune system improved, he hardly had a sniff since he started taking Juice Plus. He's now exercising daily, craves healthy plant-based food, making his own lunches with heaps of vegetables, and he looks probably 10 years younger, at least with my eyes. And most importantly, his blood tests are extraordinary, and he's cancer-free. So to be honest, when I started taking Juice Plus, I did it mostly because of my husband, because I was skeptical at first that it will benefit me personally at all. I considered myself already very healthy, and I was a foodie, and I was completely against any supplements. But in a few months, I noticed significant improvement with my energy levels. I recovered from exercise much quicker. My joint pain reduced. And as a bonus, my skin, my nails, my hair also improved, which I didn't expect at all. So I felt good before, but now I'm feeling fantastic. And another bonus is while researching this product, I was visiting different wellness events, and I met people who inspired me, and that's how I met Carla, and I joined the Juicy movement because I really wanted to be a part of this wonderful community and share a gift of health with others and people I love, and we're having fun while doing it. So that's from me.
Thanks Thank you so much, Tash. Thank you. That was, yeah, incredible. I think what's just so powerful, even just about this little group of us talking tonight, is how different each of our stories are, and how just making this one simple change just seems to somehow touch the points where it's needed most. And that's really what I believe about Juice Plus, simply being that this solid basis of everyday solid nutrition, plant-based, extremely high nutrient density. That's what it's doing, right? It's going straight to feeding our cells, making them as healthy as possible, and doing the work it needs to do wherever it's needed, just on a nutritional level. And then, you know, with the sort of holistic approach to adding in extra things, and how, with example Tom's story, just having that extra energy means that he's exercising more, he's keener to eat more fruits and veg. It's all just super duper wonderful. I love seeing it even in my little kids, who now literally can't, you know, get enough veggies on their plate. And I do give a lot of that credit to the fact that they're flooding their bodies every day with real whole food nutrition, and so they just want more of it. So we're gonna amazingly keep our promise for a half-an-hour webinar tonight. Thank you so much everyone for joining us live, and for those of you watching the recording as well. Obviously there's heaps more to know and learn, lots and lots of questions you might have. Any of those questions, please direct them straight to whoever invited you on the call or sent you this webinar, and know that we're here to answer your questions and hope to introduce you to the Juicy Life really, really soon. So thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.